Alice sighed in irritation. It was nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon and she had yet to finish reading her history textbook and complete her paper. Then after that, she had a ball at 8 o'clock to prepare for. Alice predicted that it would take, at the very least, an hour to arrange her hair and get fitted into her newest purple gown. That didn't leave very much time for the seemingly endless amount of work she needed to finish. Sighing once again, Alice placed her history textbook onto the mahogany desk beside her, leaving the rest of the assigned reading for later. She moved on to her paper. Standing up, she brushed off her peacock blue dress, strode over to the large bookshelf standing by the door, and pulled out a thick encyclopedia. Alice brushed off the dusty cover and coughed daintily.
The British Army,
she complained wearily.
What a dull topic for Miss Stanbury to have chosen.
A fat tabby cat appeared beside Alice. The cat mewled softly for attention and rubbed her striped orange fur against Alice's dress.
Not now, Dinah,
Alice stated with a slight air of impatience, all the while flipping through the encyclopedia she held in her hands. Dinah purred louder and more insistently.
I'm busy, Dinah.
Alice's voice was sharp and filled with annoyance. Sensing her mistress's irritation, Dinah dejectedly stalked off and curled up by Alice's reading chair, silently fuming. Silence once again filled the large study. The only things that could be heard were the rhythmic ticking sounds from the grandfather clock and the slow turning of the pages of a book. Then, without warning, there was a loud crash as a chair within the study was knocked over. Alice looked up from her book with alarm just as a white rabbit in a waistcoat streaked by.
Oh dear!
The rabbit panicked as it pulled a pocket watch out of its waistcoat pocket.
I've broken it! Well, no time to fix it now. I'm late!
The pink-eyed rabbit jumped over the fallen chair and rushed on. Alice's crystal blue eyes were wide from shock. She was sure she had never before seen a talking rabbit, much less a talking rabbit in a waistcoat with a pocket watch. Yet she was somehow filled with a feeling of déjà vu.
That rabbit, it seems awfully familiar. That can't be right.
And without a second thought, she dropped her encyclopedia and raced after the quickly disappearing figure.
I'm late for a very important date. Oh dear.
Alice rushed after the rabbit, just to see him leap out of the study and take a sharp left. Her heeled shoes clacked harshly against the marble floors as she chased after him in the corridors of her mansion. Down the stairs, then up, then left. A right, 2 lefts, down again. Suddenly, the rabbit took a sharp right turn and vanished around the corner. Alice followed and shortly after found that the white rabbit had seemingly disappeared. Looking around her, Alice was struck with a sudden realization. She was lost. She had never been in this part of the mansion before, or rather, she was certain that this part of the mansion did not exist. The walls were painted a bright leafy green, dotted with neon pink bubbles, and there was no doors or windows in this long, seemingly endless corridor. Alice turned around and frowned. The corridor stretched on behind her.
How queer. Didn't I just take a left turn? Or was it a right turn? Or was it a left and then 3 rights? But if it was, wouldn't I be walking in a square? Or maybe it's a rectangle? Or, oh dear. I've got to stop overthinking. I'll just walk all the way down this corridor. After all, it has got to end somewhere. Then, wherever it ends, I shall proceed from there.
Pleased with her plan, Alice delicately picked up her dress, careful to keep the hem from trailing on the ground, and she hurriedly walked down the hallway, going the direction that the rabbit had seemed to disappear off to. Minutes passed, yet the hall continued onward. Alice began to panic.
What if I can never find my way out? What if I end up trapped here forever? Then I shall grow old here all alone. I can't have that. I still have evening balls I have to attend, dresses to wear, people to dance with, and...
Alice was cut off by the sound of creaking door hinges. She spun around to see the white rabbit disappear into a room that she was certain had not been there before. Relieved nonetheless, Alice rushed after him. As she came closer, she realized that it was not a room that the rabbit had entered, but rather a grandfather clock. There was a small door carved into the front side of the 6-foot-tall clock. Alice hesitantly pulled open the door, and she stuck her head inside the room. Alice was, to her surprise, greeted by darkness. No oil lamps were lit, and Alice called out hesitantly. Echoes of her voice bounced back at her.
That That's strange. It must be a very big clock.
Her childhood curiosity getting the better of her, she went on all fours and crawled through the miniature doorway. Alice could feel dirt between her fingers.
Dirt? That's not right.
Frowning, Alice crawled further into the room. The clock chimed 4 and the surroundings vibrated dangerously. Suddenly, the ground gave out beneath her and Alice felt herself falling into a deep hole as her screams were ripped from her throat.